Hello YouTube, welcome to the Broken Token Media channel. Once again, I am Aaron. This is my wife Lauren, also my assistant director.
Hello.
So today we're coming at you with quite a different approach to everything that we have been doing. As our subscribers are aware, we have a new series coming out actually next week, next Friday. It'll be 1 week from recording. Well, we're recording this on a Thursday, so there's that. But 1 week and 1 day from today, our pilot episode should be airing. That's all pending on my audio guys. If they can get everything in together, we kind of fell a little bit behind on that, but that's a different story. So we wanted to go ahead and try something new. For this exclusive, instead of a behind the scenes or something like that, we're actually been talking a lot about setting up a webcast. Lauren, you want to go into details on what we've got going on with that?
Well, pretty much the webcast we're thinking of is a weekly couple of minute video about basically whatever you guys want. You guys want to hear how he figures out all of his lighting, how he does his special effects, which there are a couple, especially back in the Ray Dell video, that I was like, really? You can do that? And then he pulled it off. But it really is pretty much whatever you guys want. You know, just put it in the comments or send him a message, and it will do whatever pops up.
Alright, so to go with what she was saying there, you can send me a message. Where's my hands? There we go. Send me a message. I'm going to have a, on the video itself, you guys probably already see it. Email address going to be popping up right here. I've got my web page, Twitter account, Facebook. Any one of those methods is a great way to get in touch with me. You just send me a message what you want to see.
I felt like I should have been doing the Vanna White when he did that.
Still use that. Send me a message what you want to see, especially special effects. For this series that's coming up, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but haven't really said a whole lot. So to introduce it for everybody, it's called the HellHound's Playground. It is a horror series. I have 17 episodes in the making. It all starts off with episode 1, Jeremiah. Jeremiah, Christian man, loses his wife to an illness that she was born with. Grief-stricken by her death, he turns to the Bible, misinterprets the word, and begins to cleanse the world of sin.
Basically, think of it as a psychotic Bible thumper.
Basically. So, episode 1, Jeremiah, introduces Jeremiah and his family and shows him start going on the downward spiral that is his insanity. So with that series, now we're into the behind the scenes stuff, special effects that we have. First of all, in the first few episodes, lots of people are going to be stabbed. One guy in particular will be axed. I have lots of bloodshed scenes. Of course, I'm not going for the gory look out of all of this one, so that is a
Unlike
plus.
some movies and franchises, we
Yes.
don't go for the gore effect. We go for the realism. I cannot stand the gore effect.
And too much gore starts getting real cheesy. I want it to look, like it's legitimate, something that's actually happening. I kind of like the way that some of the older, more classic horror films have gone, where they leave the gore and the horror to your imagination. So a lot of our effects, there's going to be gore in it. I can promise you that. But a lot of our special effects are going to be almost more low-tech. Something that we can definitely create on a budget. And I can do a lot of the other more high-tech ones. Of course, I don't have the budget for a lot of them, and that's would be stuff that I have to do on my own. But I'm really, really good with a lot of that stuff. So hit me up on one of the various contact methods that I had posted just momentarily ago. Let me know what you want to see, and I can show you my rigging for any of those kind of effects. Even if it's something that I'm not using in this particular series, you can drop me a line and say, hey, I want to see you do this, or, whatever.
See, he is the special effects. I am the actors. I am the one that places the actors. I am the one that, hey, pretty much act this way. Because on our first filming day of Jeremiah, we had our actors, two of our actors come out, and one of them originally was not supposed to be Jeremiah.
He was a part that's going to appear later on in the series. He initially was going to be in every single episode, but as a non-speaking role. You will get a taste of that in Jeremiah. There is a guy that has replaced him, but the guy who is now playing Jeremiah, he showed up for a non-speaking role, be on camera for 4 seconds or something like that. And our original Jeremiah had gotten sick, food poisoning. So in order not to waste everybody's time, because everybody was here, we just couldn't do anything because our main character, who was going to be in every scene for the first episode, couldn't show up. Lauren here suggested that we do a table read.
And pretty much my niece, who is playing Susanna, when I said let's do a run through, he was originally going to read for Jeremiah. And then we had Brendan start reading, and the instant he opened his mouth, and we were like, yep, okay, hold on. Some things have to change here. Because I looked over at him and told him, oh my, I just got chills. That is the living embodiment of how I expected from the years, and I mean years, he has been talking about the HellHound's playground. Jeremiah is saying all of these things throughout our entire relationship. That is how I heard Jeremiah.
So to go back on all that and I guess put the fire under what she's saying here.
It's been around for a long time.
By a long time, she's referring to, let's see, I was in a group of people. We were working on Haunted House together. That's how we met. And we were in relatively the same scene, and we decided to divvy ourselves up into more scenes together, everything that we can access. But it was myself, my brother, and then a guy that we had met through the Haunted House. His name was Chris. Of course, that was his real name, not what we all called him.
Was, because apparently he's no longer with us or something.
Is Chris.
Was.
But anyway, we all got together, and we were, a really, really good, strong group of people. There were others in the group as well who have since gone their own ways, and couldn't be happier for some of them to leave, but that's a different story. But we had all gotten together, and we had hung out, and we were talking about starting up our own haunted house. And one of the big things that we wanted to put in there was an actual storyline, because the haunted house that we were working for kind of touched on the storyline here and there, but it wasn't really all that, prominent. So we had talked about a couple of things, threw some stuff up in the air, and all of a sudden the thing HellHound stuck, because the way that my little group scared everybody, we were kind of like junkyard dogs. We were mostly by what was called the junkyard, which is literally just junk. Refrigerators, washers, dryers, farm equipment, stuff like that, just all piled in a field. Um, so we were junkyard dogs, and the name HellHound stuck out. So we decided, we were going to call our haunted house the HellHound's Playground. And we needed a main killer, and we needed a good story. Well, instantly it came out as the story could be sin. The main killer, Jeremiah, be a Christian man and misinterprets the word, goes out, tries to cleanse sin. And he comes across his disciples, the HellHounds. And the HellHounds would be, at that time, there were 4 of us. So that was that. Well, then we're like, well, you got 4, why don't we do 7, and each of the HellHounds could be their own sin. So we started working that angle, and then it just all died. A couple years later, kind of picked up a little bit here and there, tried it again, and then it died. And finally, I go into school for graphic design, and rediscover everything that I used to do with the videos and special effects. And all of a sudden, it just hit me in the back of the head like a flying pink pony of justice kicking me back to life. Once more, different story. You'll learn about that eventually. I love that look. She's so confused. But anyway.
I don't claim him.
Anyway, I was like, oh, let's make a web series. Initially, it was going to be a movie. Just one movie. But then...
It's never that.
It really isn't. But then, as I contemplated it more and more, it just made more and more sense to do it like a series, a web series. And that's where, the HellHound's Playground horror series was born. So, I personally am not a great writer. I could do it if I have to. And my amateur writing skills really do shine through.
Andy's not much of a people person.
I'm not at all. No. That's her.
Me.
So, immediately, as soon as I had this idea for this web series, I go, I need a writer. So I tried a couple avenues, and one of them hit, and it stuck, and I got this awesome writer. Her name's Susan. She's not in my state, never met me, never met any of us, but I sent her all the ideas, all the character development, everything that the group has talked about over the years. And she starts sending me scripts. And I read the Jeremiah script, the very, very first script, and I got chills. Then all 17 scripts pop out. Everything's all ready to go. I read through it. All of her characters, their mannerisms, the way that they move, everything is dead on to the actors that are already claimed to those roles. So then we go into this table read, and Brendan steps up and he reads Jeremiah, and Lauren and I, we just look at each other and we're like, we're recasting. That's all there is to it. You're Jeremiah now. And we mobilized the troops, got everybody here, filmed, knocked it all out in one day. Episode 1 was ready to get edited. We got in. Actually, I took a couple days and was with the family, and then edited the video together. I got it over to my audio guys, and that's where we're sitting right now. As soon as I get the audio back on this, get everything tested, make sure it's all working the way I want it to, finish my color correction, getting posted up onto YouTube. With any luck, it'll be posted, like I said, May 22nd. So do not miss it. It's going to be good. There are minimal special effects in the very first episode.
The first episode really is kind of just introducing them, well, you guys, to Susanna, to Jeremiah, to Susan, for a very short amount of time.
Yes. The episode's going to be about 6 minutes and 24 seconds. So it's not...
To be exact.
Yes, it's not that long of an episode. None of them will be. So hopefully they'll start getting shorter, more to the point. You'll have more of the special effects and a lot quicker development. But in this one here, being the very, very first episode, the focus is on Jeremiah, but you do have to meet his daughter Susanna, who becomes one of the disciples. So she is a very prominent character as well.
Who, back when they were trying to do the haunted house, Susanna, before two children, was going to be me.
Yes.
That changed, but right now, we're going to let you guys think of all of this, stew on it, and get yourself prepared, because in 1 week, Jeremiah premieres. So get ready.
Some good stuff. Alright, so, back to what we talked about at the very, very beginning. Get in touch with me. Like I said, I want to have your input. I want to see if us doing, showing rigging of special effects, all this kind of stuff is something that you want to see on a weekly basis. If these exclusive videos are doing anything for you. I want to know what kind of special effects do you want to see. What kind of riggings do you want to, what kind of videos do you want to see. Get in touch with me.
Or you can see how he will use something that will be in. I think it'll take a couple of episodes for it to actually show up. It would be his blood cannon.
The blood cannon was a lot of fun.
It was definitely a family effort, because there were countless times I helped him rig up shooting it. Our son both helped him. Again, it was a family event, and it was pretty much a good time.
Now, unfortunately, I don't have most of that on film, especially like my kids helping me out with it or anything like that.
But we can always reshoot it.
We can definitely recreate it. The other thing is, initially, this exclusive video, this week's video, was supposed to be us premiering the blood cannon, showing you how it works, and showing some functionality tests of it. But
it's rained for 2 weeks.
It has rained for 2 weeks. I do have some footage, but the footage I caught isn't exactly the greatest. I have to, still calibrate my aim, get the right pressure set up.
That, and I think you were too far.
I was too far away, for one. Secondly, I had too much pressure, so it was more of like a mist of blood instead of, a shot.
And I think he needed more cottage cheese.
Yes, and larger curd cottage cheese.
Not a small curd.
So speaking of that, my blood that I'm going to be using in any of the gore scenes. The blood is edible, non-toxic.
He made Deja take a shot of it.
I've taken shots of it. My niece has. My neighbor. It tastes like chocolate-covered cherries. I mean, it's...
I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. It looks gross.
Of course it looks gross. But yeah, so... I can get more into all of that if you guys want to see it. Like I said, shoot me an email.
It's basically viewer's choice.
Viewer's choice, yes, definitely.
Just nothing outrageous. Think within the box.
So naturally, this episode is a lot longer than any of them that I'm going to be doing here in the future. That being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up.
Goodbye, Das YouTube.
This is, like I said, Broken Token Media channel on YouTube. In case you guys don't have the URL, which, if you're viewing from Facebook or a website or something like that, you're probably not going to have it. It's youtube.com/Broken Token Media and then the number 1. Or if you are on YouTube and you want to contact us through Facebook, facebook.com/Broken Token Media. Give us a like while you're there. Twitter @Broke Token Media. Or
we're not broken, we're just broke.
Yeah, Broke Token Media. And then finally, if you want to drop me an email, like I said, down here across the bottom of the screen.
I had to do my Vanna White.
Yeah, I know, but you threw me off for a second. ammolitor13@gmail.com. So.
Also, throwing it in there before we sign off, view the blooper reel for
Please
Ray
do.
Dell. It was so much fun. He originally wasn't going to do a blooper reel, but
So many people told me I had to.
so many people. And what he put together was nowhere near all of the clips of all of us.
True story.
It was such a fun time filming
I've
that.
actually lost some of the clips of it, but there's so much.
Such a serious movie, but so much bloopers.
Yeah, serious except for the writing. Oh my god. Whatever you do, do not hire me to write anything for you. Just putting
He's
that
visual, not literal.
very visual.
But alright, YouTube. We will see you later.
Hopefully this
Check
was
out the site.
episode 1 of whatever we're going to call our weekly show.
We'll call it Yo Yo YouTube.
Yeah, let's not.